Hello,
Hello.
welcome to Adornment.
Yes, betrothed segment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
today we are starting with it,
Uh-huh.
and at first we want to give an explanation
Mm.
uh, where we stood, what we thought
Mm.
uh, before we met each other,
Yes.
because it's good to understand
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
so you can understand what happens further on,
Mm-hmm.
and what we thought before,
Yes.
no, our mistakes
Yes.
what we made.
And who are we?
And who are we? Yeah,
Yeah.
my name is Walter Jebele,
Yeah.
servant at Adornment, and this
Yes.
is my wife, who gets more and more lovely every day, Ada Jebele.
Thank you. I'm humbled and honored.
So um, I will start with my story.
Yes.
About 10 years ago,
Mm.
my life turned upside down. No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was trained, educated,
Mm.
I studied
Mm.
economics
Mm-hmm.
to become a successful businessman. So,
Yes.
and especially in tourism.
Uh-huh.
So I operated for almost 20 years,
Mm.
two travel agencies
Mm-hmm.
in different locations.
Yes.
And well, the business for some times it went very well. Then it reduced,
Yes.
and it well, there were some points like internet and so on,
Mm.
but also I could not really understand why it's reducing.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Mm-hmm.
And so but I already had a kind of spiritual approach to life, let's say in
Mm-hmm.
this way.
Mm-hmm.
I was not so in the Bible
Mm.
or reading scriptures and such,
Mm. Mm.
but I had a kind of spiritual approach.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that the things that
Mm-hmm.
are happening for a reason.
Yes.
No?
Mm.
And so one time when I was sitting in my travel agency,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, oh, it's uh, I need more business.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked God,
Mm.
or better, prayed to Him, like we do it often. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with our wishes, we come to God and pray. Yeah,
Yes.
and say, please, God,
Mm.
let this afternoon,
Mm.
let 3 clients come in who book a trip. Huh?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Because the trips, booking trips made commissions for me. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I sat down and let me tell you,
Mm.
on this afternoon, really 3 people appeared.
Yes.
Huh?
Ah, that's
But
a miracle.
but
Uh.
they did not book a trip, but they canceled their trips. Huh? They had already booked.
I'm sorry, but
So
that
so I
sounds
lost
funny.
I lost my commissions. Huh?
Oh dear.
What I already thought I had in the pocket.
Yeah.
So and this of course brought me to think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Yeah.
Huh? Maybe it's meant that there is some other destiny for
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Mm-hmm.
And it also, on the other side, there were a lot of problems
Mm.
with my former wife.
Mm.
And so in the end,
Mm.
I I lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
lost the house I lived in.
Mm.
I lost my family.
Yes. Oh
I
dear.
lost my business.
Yes. Mm.
And so,
Mm.
what to do now?
Mm.
Hmm?
Back to square one.
I said, well, I trusted in God.
Mm-hmm.
I said,
Yeah. Hallelujah.
there must be a reason
Mm.
behind
Mm.
this.
Yes.
Huh?
Mm.
I mean, this worked for 25 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now
Exactly.
suddenly it's
Yeah.
all turning down.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the reason of that?
Mm.
Uh, so I decided, say, to look forward.
Yeah.
No?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, looking forward, especially when you have problems in relation,
Mm.
often means that you look for another partner, because it
Yeah.
gives you some
Comfort.
support, and let's say all the desire to live further on.
You need someone to hold on to,
Yeah,
like comfort. Yeah.
So I went into online dating, and I our listeners and viewers from Africa will be happy.
Yeah.
huh? As I was bored
Yes.
of German women,
Uh-huh.
I looked. I said, I will look for someone from another continent.
Uh-huh.
And so I got on those dating sites,
Uh-huh.
and then I met someone, and I communicated with her, and it was yeah, it worked out very well in the beginning.
Yes.
But then I found out that we have different ideas. In what
Goals,
about the
plans, yeah.
seriousness of the relations? For me, I thought it's everything.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's a most important thing in my life. And for her, I guess she said it was just some affair by the sides, and maybe with some
Yeah.
so after after some years, I left really heartbroken.
Oh, my poor husband.
But at least it kept me afloat, you know.
Yes.
I managed to go with the high tide of flying, with the butterflies in the stomach. It makes you much easier to go over different areas in your life,
Okay.
different times. So I managed to get over it, and then and I thought, well, yeah, what to do now?
How long did this affair last?
Almost 4 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah,
That's really a long time.
Yeah.
So you kept on.
always
You were
hoped-
holding on to
I
hope.
always hoped. She will change. She will change. One
Okay.
time she will understand.
Yeah.
And though I always kept on, maybe some I said, now I'm going to separate.
Yeah.
But then a few weeks later, I
You are
came back
back.
again
Yeah.
because she has sent me another mail again.
Yeah.
And so I
Oh.
said, oh yeah, let's try it again. And I always hoped there will be change. There will be change.
It's called dangling a carrot.
Yeah.
Someone dangles a
Right.
carrot to you and you keep.
Right. And but the final point then came, and then I asked, what to do now? And so I remember very well. One day it was in November. Yeah.
Yes. A time like this.
Yeah, time like this. Yeah. I made. I had my lunch break at work, and I always used to go out to get some fresh air. So I made a walk, longer walk, and so I asked God, what should I do now? I mean, I have found work again in another travel agency. So I had good possibilities of travel,
Yes.
and I love to travel. And so I said, well, I can have a life for my own.
Yes. Yeah.
And just enjoy all the possibilities I have. I can travel to America, to Australia, to Asia. So it's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And
You didn't have that time.
and I had no obligation in this.
Exactly, yeah.
My children were already almost grown up.
Yes.
So I thought this would be one thing, yeah. And then I heard a kind of message, yeah, which told me, go back to Afro. Afro was a dating site.
You're advertising Afro for free.
In which I don't know if it still exists. And it's
Anyway,
it's not the whole name anyhow.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's
so
okay.
I then
You
the
subscribed
order
again.
was there. I subscribed again, and I paid my membership dues, because that was the shortest time for 1 month. Well, 2 weeks later, I felt sorry for this because I wasted 2 weeks.
Oh, this was in November
Of too much. It was beginning of December then, already. So I would not have even used the whole month. Huh?
Okay, kind of,
And
excuse me.
yes, that's this was what happened before, and then
I can maybe pick up from there, my side, and then we can come back together on that date.
Yeah.
So now, in my case, I was in an abusive relationship. So finally, one day, I decided to pack and go because, especially for the sake of the children, because they had become so afraid for me. It used to be bad, fights and just, it was terrible. So finally, I made the decision and we moved out. And after we moved out, a few months later, one day our oldest daughter texts me that she needs to talk to me because they have discussed amongst the 3 older children that they should find me a partner, a husband. I think because they were worried that I may go back, and that's a relationship that was really, really volatile. It's something that maybe would even have ended up in tragedy. And by this time, I've decided that I'm never going to get involved in a relationship because I had suffered 2 abusive relationships. And so I was like, I'm done. While these older children are still talking to me about it, our 2 younger children, one time they come from school and they are arguing between themselves. They have seen a man, they have been observing a man whom they think will be good for me. So one of them, the youngest, wants me to get involved with this man, but the older one is like, no, this man is not the right one for mom. And his reason was that the man was having the same kind of shoe and it was not a good shoe. So according to this little boy, a man who does not care for his shoes cannot be responsible.
I'm happy that I had better shoes probably, so I got accepted.
So yeah, perhaps. So then I of course I intervene and I'm thinking, what is this? Then just soon later, I make an acquaintance with some lady. And this lady is just gone through divorce and now she's looking for a marriage enthusiastically. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, are you even serious? She was also in an abusive relationship. And she tells me, we only have one life to live, so I cannot allow one failure to determine the rest of my life. And she was even a little older than me because at that time I thought I was too old. I have children. I'm just not cut out for that because I have suffered twice. So this lady continues trying to convince me. Around about that same time, one time I boarded a bus to go to town. I lived in Umoja Estate. Now I'm going to town to the city center in Nairobi. And I sit next to this elderly woman. She must have been in her mid-70s. And she strikes a conversation with me and she starts telling me, I'm really disappointed in our girls in this country because I see them throwing themselves at married men, at men who are not even supposed to be their spouses, having affairs before marriage. And yet God always has a spouse for whoever he has created for marriage. Because there are those people who don't have the desire to marry. God creates people differently. And she told me, so this person is throwing herself at somebody's husband, yet her husband is probably here in Uganda. Maybe one is in Europe. Maybe her husband is in America. And so I'm thinking, why is she telling me this? Does she think maybe I'm one of those girls? But anyway, we go to town, went our separate ways. But then on my way back home, I started reflecting upon this lady, the soul that she had given me. And so I started asking God, is it you speaking to me? And the following week, my friend now, who was dating online, managed to convince me because she told me, what have you got to lose? Just put your subscribe. And then I thought to myself, I think that would be a better idea because if I meet, I've got really nothing to lose. Someone will either accept me or refuse me. And for me, it's not even a loss because after all, I'm not really interested deeply. So she showed me how to subscribe. I subscribed. She took a picture of me. But this picture, her camera was dark. Well, I think it had a poor lens. And her office was also dark. So this picture, you could only see part of my face, and it was not even clear. I even had braided hair, but it was not clear. I looked almost like some kind of a monster, maybe, I don't know. I don't know, but just something there, yeah. So she took this picture and we posted. And after posting it, I met someone, and we spoke for about 3 months, but then we were not getting anywhere. He was so skeptical because, I have 7 children, and for most people, this is news that will just get them running away because there's a lot of responsibility. So 3 months we talked for 3 months. I walked out. I got another person again. 3 months again. He was also, so skeptical about my children and so on. So I let him go. And then I met another. Now this one will complain about the fact that I had so many children and blah, 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 blah. But then he had decided that he was coming, and he even wanted to build as a home. And he had such a big problem with children that he had actually said that we'll build our own 2 rooms, then another 2 rooms for the children separately. And remember, my children, some of them are still very small. So I'm thinking now, this person, how do these children live sleep separately in a separate building from us, their children? So, and every so often he would bring up the topic. He had 2 children and he thought that was too much. 2 daughters. They were all grown now. So he booked his ticket, he reserved his ticket. He was traveling here to Kenya. Right now I'm in Germany. He was traveling to Kenya on 15th of January. So on 21st of January, before that, I told God, you know what, he just show me the way, because I don't know what to do. And I'm also that kind of person. I don't like to, it's very hard to let people off. It's like I'm punishing them or something. I just used to be weird, So on 21st, this man had gone for Christmas with his family, which was in a remote place, so we only communicated maybe once a day. So on 21st of December, I'm sitting down one evening and I just told God, you know what, God, if there's a man out there, if it's you who's been sending people to me to try and make matches for me, then please, if there's a man out there who will love me as I am and accept me with my burden being my children, and is willing to begin from the start, because at that time I had nothing, I was so down, please make him find me. I didn't want to be the one looking for a person. I told God, please make him find me. That was on 21st of December. On 24th of December, I went back online. I had unsubscribed after, this man now was coming and what have you. So I went back online. And I put an advanced search somehow. It's like someone was leading me to do things. So I went to advanced search where you specify where you are going to search for a partner. And I put Germany somehow. And it was just, it was God, because it's something that I would not naturally do, because I always wanted to concentrate on America, because America, there's a part that has the same climate like Kenya. This lower part, and Australia, such places, even New Zealand, but not Germany, Europe. So I put Germany, and I looked at 7 profiles, and yours was the 7th. And I saw what he had posted, and I just got amused. I just liked him. And I told myself, if he'll accept me, my friend, now I'm forgetting that I'm looking for a husband. I told myself, if he'll accept me, my friend, I'll teach him a few things in life. Because the poor man was saying that he doesn't have money. So if you're looking for money, don't look for him.
He lost his business. I mean, his business collapsed,
Yes.
and he's loaded with debt.
Yes.
And so.
Yeah.
better forget about this guy. Yeah?
Yes.
And but at least you had not so much. You had not so much restrictions than I had. I mean, for me, due to the experiences before, I made a kind of list. Yeah, what's important for me. Yeah?
Yes.
And I thought, well, at first, this time I want to have a real reliable wife. I not someone who says so and does it another way.
Okay.
I want to have someone who needs me.
Good. Just like I said, yeah.
Who does not who is not in the way that it says, oh, if we split, it's no problem at all.
If I get better, then
if I get something, if I find someone who is
more appealing,
more appealing, who is younger, who lives in a nice house, I will head to him and forget about this other one.
Yes.
So one wife, a wife that needs me.
Yes.
And also, of course, honest. She should really tell me what the matters are. Not. I don't wanted people who are telling, oh, I have no kids. And then they are hiding the kids at her grandma.
Women do that.
And so honesty.
Yes.
And also, due to my experiences I had with God already, I said, well, I aim to know more about God, to get closer to Him.
God, yes.
So I want to have a wife to grow with spiritually in God.
Yes. But if you knew what you know now, would you have said that?
If I would have known what I have asked for. Oh.
You got us into this, but it's a good thing.
So I had my list. And so and so I started to sort out the answers that came, the interests. It was somehow real funny, because.
So you started sorting them out mid-December now, or when?
It was about mid-December. I did not sign in immediately. After I got this message that I should sign in.
Yes.
But then 1-2 weeks later, I started to sign in again. I opened my profile again, changed it a bit, and a new photo and so.
Now you are looking for God, a godly spouse,
and now
a spouse from God.
And then I said, let's see what comes up. And then. You get a lot of interest
as a man,
especially when you live in Germany. So some things are really funny. That you get pictures of 25-year-old girls who look like Miss Africa. And they are desperately looking for a 60-year-old guy, almost 60-year-old guy from Germany, because they cannot find any acceptable man in their home country. There are no young people there who are interesting for them.
And yet they are so beautiful. That's a lie.
So of course you can deleted all these things. And but it took about all of it would say about 10 days. And then I got I have seen that some women from Kenya has
that's so crude. Some lady
from Kenya has looked at my profile.
Yes.
And so I answered her, thank you very much for your interest.
No, I did not show you any interest. I just looked at her profile, laughed about it, but I really liked you. But not as a husband, as a potential husband. Now I wanted to teach you how to do business so you could make some money for yourself. Yeah, so but you texted me.
Yeah, so I sent her, thanked her that she looked at my profile, and I mean, I could not say much about her, because the picture there was so, you could not see much on this picture. But anyhow, I mean, what I asked for was, I had not in my list. I did not have the point. I want to have a beautiful woman. I want to have a slim woman. I want to have a woman who is this and that. I put a point about the age. Yes.
That reminds me.
Yeah.
This guy, when I read his profile, the reason why I was not interested, you just reminded me. The reason why I didn't now look at you as a husband, as a potential husband, but as a person that I can tutor, an apprentice of business from me to me, was because his age limit was below my age at that time. And so, I mean, I let it be. But then when he wrote to me, he said something like, I think you maybe looked at my profile, but I saw, thank you, blah, blah. And then I replied him and I said, yeah, I did, and blah, blah. And then he said, no, you look at my profile again. And so I was like, no, I already read it. And he told me, you just go and look at it. And when I went back, this man is a comedian. He'd changed the age limit when he saw that my age was above the age that he had requested for. He changed the age limit to accommodate me by over 2 years. So when I saw this, I just started laughing, because I thought, my goodness, he's sweet. But of course he doesn't know, because at that time I believed that I was the ugliest woman on earth. He doesn't know what he's getting himself into. So I was actually very amused. So we started talking on that day. That was 24th.
24th of December.
That's when we met.
And we started talking. Of course, you talk about everything. You talk about the weather in Kenya, the weather in Germany, and such things. In the beginning, it's just very harmless talks.
Yeah.
Just
but you know him. He doesn't talk much.
He
doesn't talk much. Once in a while he'll talk. Me, I was the talker. By that evening, it was in the afternoon when we met.
In the afternoon we met, and then I mean in Germany we celebrate Christmas Eve in a very strong way. It's we do not even celebrate the first day of Christmas so much. It's more the evening.
Okay,
where you eat something special and you celebrate, or you go to church. And at that time I was living with my elderly mom. And so, of course, I needed to give her the evening to be together and just to have Christmas together. So
you excused yourself. You told me you're going to make soup or something for mom.
We will prepare the dinner now, and so I have to leave you. But
I'll be back.
I will be back. Yeah.
But he did not come back.
He did not. Yeah, because
he never came back.
I mean, my mom would have gotten terribly jealous if I would have told her, well, there is a lady in Kenya.
Yes.
I want to talk with now on Christmas Eve. She would have told me bad things.
He's an only child. He's the daughter and the son until I came on the scene. He's the only child. Yeah. So it was so nice coming to you. Please remember to subscribe and leave. Let them write to us.
Yeah.
Because we would also like to know a bit about you, and we really want to go on this journey with you. Yeah. Because without you, there's nothing we're doing. Yeah. We want to go on this journey with you because we want to just appreciate each other and just teach each other and share and grow together. You know, it's and that's so mommy. Yeah. So we will terminate this one here, but be sure to join us next week.
Yeah, the next part will be wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot imagine what happened
Miss
then.
it. Yeah, in fact, you cannot. You cannot.
It's just
A miracle.
a miracle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a real miracle.
How this
Yeah, develops, yeah.
developed further on.
Yeah, excellent.
And nice about a long mail.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So
we'll leave you at that. This is a song. This is the one that we sing about. Nashukuru Mungu. He gave me especially beauty for my ashes because I believed I was too ugly and so on and so forth. So please remember to subscribe. Remember to share with a friend. We want as many people as much on board with this relationship journey because we want God to change us in relational matters, us and you and everybody. And that's what we want happiness. We want God's joy and peace in our relationships, in our marriages. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening and a great week ahead.
Bye-bye.